Hey everyone, welcome to Comic Yahud, your place for classic comic stories. Today's episode, Tintin and the Broken Ear, Chapter 9. Let's dive in. Quickly, Tintin scrambles up, pulling Snowy close, and braces himself against the rock as the trunk approaches. His mind races with questions about how they can use this unexpected chance to their advantage. With determination, Tintin lunges forward and grabs the trunk, urging Snowy not to let it slip away. A tree trunk. Don't let it go, it could be our only chance, he exclaims, clinging tightly. The river's current shifts the fallen tree, causing Tintin to shout in surprise as it swings around. Snowy barks excitedly, perched on a rock, as they see a new path opening before them. Tintin, eyes filled with hope, realizes the tree might serve as a makeshift bridge. We can get across, with luck, he exclaims, assessing the precarious balance of the situation. Cautiously, Tintin begins crawling across the log with Snowy clinging onto his back, water rushing below them. Each step is careful and deliberate, as they inch towards the other side, hearts pounding in unison. As Tintin and Snowy finally reach the safety of the rocky shore, Tintin reassures his loyal companion that they are safe for now. The relief in his voice is clear as they pause to catch their breath. Determined to regain their bearings, Tintin gazes across the sprawling landscape, pondering their next move. Snowy, ever vigilant, stays by his side as the sound of rushing water fades into the background. Meanwhile, in the arid expanse of a desert camp, Alonzo excitedly reads aloud from a newspaper to Ramon. The news seems to hold significant importance, capturing Ramon's full attention as they sit under the blazing sun. Alonzo and Ramon are engrossed in the news of a dramatic fire at sea, where the ship, Vilda Lion, has been engulfed, leaving only passengers and crew unharmed. The loss of all cargo and baggage stirs a deep concern between them, raising questions about what has been destroyed. Panic grips Alonzo and Ramon as they exclaim over the destruction of the fetish they sought. Ramon's suspicion quickly shifts to doubt, wondering if Tintin might have deceived them about its location. Meanwhile, Tintin, with Snowy by his side, finds hope as they spot a distant house amidst the vast landscape. His relief is palpable as they head towards the promise of shelter and safety. Inside the house, a rugged man tells the gentleman in the beige suit that someone is lost and needs shelter. The gentleman, cigar poised, nods and says, "Bring him in." Walking through the lively courtyard of the hacienda, Tintin learns from the same rugged man that the hospitable owner is Don Jose Trujillo. Tintin, grateful for the warm welcome, follows the man, observing workers busy with their harvest, while Snowy trots along by his side. That evening, Tintin sits with Don Jose, discussing the river cauliflower and the lands beyond it. Tintin's curiosity about the Arumbayas, who are said to live along the riverbanks, sparks a deeper conversation. Don Jose's words hang heavily as he recounts the tale of Ridgewell, a British explorer who vanished while seeking the Arumbayas. Tintin listens intently, the challenge of the unknown sparking something within him. Curiosity burning, Tintin asks if anyone might accompany him to such a dangerous place. Don Jose seems taken aback by the question, caught off guard by Tintin's boldness. The next morning, Don Jose introduces Tintin to Carico, a local who knows the river well but is hesitant about venturing into Arumbaya territory. Tintin, undeterred, considers this potential ally with determination. Tintin confidently approaches Carico, asking if he would guide him downriver, to which Carico agrees with a nod. Despite his initial hesitation, Carico's agreement seems to reassure Tintin. However, Tintin's next request to visit the Arumbayas causes Carico to react with visible alarm. Tintin watches him nervously, sensing Carico's fear. Carico panics, declaring the Arumbayas to be dangerous, and refuses to go further. Tintin, determined, pulls on his arm and accuses him of cowardice while Snowy watches with interest. Tintin pleads with Carico to reconsider, offering him money as an incentive. His determination is evident as he tries to sway Carico's fear with the promise of payment. Carico, with a hint of resignation, agrees to continue but insists Tintin buy his canoe, emphasizing his own poverty. Tintin, seeing no other option, agrees to the purchase, showing his willingness to do whatever it takes to move forward. With the deal made, Carico and Tintin set off in the canoe, paddling into the dense jungle. Snowy sits alert, as the thick foliage looms around them, suggesting the beginning of a daring journey. As they navigate the river, Carico shares a tale of another traveler who never returned, leaving Tintin to ponder the risks of their journey. Tintin, though aware of the danger, seems unfazed and determined to continue, while Snowy looks on as if questioning his master's resolve. Days pass as the canoe glides through the winding river, surrounded by towering trees and the sounds of the jungle. The passage of time weighs on Tintin and Carico as they push deeper into the unknown, Snowy resting quietly at Tintin's feet. Realizing nightfall is approaching, Carico suggests they stop, and Tintin agrees, sensing the need for caution in the wild terrain. The trio prepares to find a safe spot to rest, knowing the jungle holds its own set of challenges in the darkness. As the sun sets, Carico informs Tintin that they'll reach the land of the Arumbayas the next day, while Snowy stands alert by their canoe. Tintin nods, clutching an oar, as the promise of adventure stirs within him. Later, under the starry sky, Carico sits by the crackling fire, exchanging goodnight wishes with Tintin, whose face peeks out from the tent. The jungle night envelopes them, and the sounds of the wilderness become their lullaby. The next morning, Tintin emerges from the tent with Snowy by his side, noticing Carico's absence. Curious and slightly concerned, he wonders aloud where Carico might have gone. Tintin approaches the riverbank, observing the canoe still tied up and wondering about Carico's whereabouts. Snowy sniffs around, equally puzzled by the unexpected absence. With rising concern, Tintin cups his hands around his mouth and calls out loudly for Carico, his voice echoing through the trees. The silence that follows deepens his worry. Sitting on a log, Tintin reflects on Carico's departure, realizing his companion intended for him to continue the journey alone. Snowy lies beside him, sensing Tintin's disappointment as the campfire crackles nearby. Tintin lies back in a small wooden canoe, drifting peacefully beneath the shade of a sprawling tree, with Snowy resting by his side. The gentle sway of the boat offers a moment of calm before the journey ahead. Suddenly, Tintin's tranquility is shattered as he spots the churning rapids ahead, calling out to Snowy to brace for the turbulent waters. The serene river transforms into a frothy torrent, demanding Tintin's full attention and skill. With determination etched on his face, Tintin navigates the canoe through the chaotic waves, gripping the paddle tightly. Snowy clings to the bow, both of them battling to stay afloat amid the roaring rapids. The canoe capsizes violently as the river's fury tosses it against jagged rocks, flinging Tintin and Snowy into the tumultuous water. Tintin's hat flies off as he struggles to regain control, gripping the overturned canoe with desperation. Tintin clings to a slippery rock, shouting in despair about the loss of the canoe, guns, and food. Snowy, struggling in the current, yelps for help as the river threatens to sweep him away. With a determined reach, Tintin extends his arm to grasp Snowy's ear, pulling him to safety. Relief washes over them both as the treacherous waters continue to rush past. Tintin, clutching Snowy tightly, leaps across the slippery rocks, narrowly escaping the clutches of the raging water below. His expression of effort and focus mirrors the urgent need to find solid ground. Safe but concerned, Tintin stands pondering his predicament, voicing his worries about being unarmed and alone in a hostile land. Snowy, feeling overlooked, reminds Tintin of his loyal companionship with a hint of playful indignation. They venture onward, weaving through the dense, lush jungle, the vibrant flora adding an exotic backdrop to their journey. Tintin and Snowy remain vigilant, aware of the challenges that may lie hidden in the shadows of the towering trees. Tintin pauses, a shiver running down his spine as he confides in Snowy about the unsettling feeling of being watched. Snowy, visibly uneasy, stammers his agreement, their eyes darting through the dense foliage in search of hidden eyes. Suddenly, a dart whizzes past, grazing the air with a sharp hiss and causing Tintin to instinctively duck with an alarmed exclamation. Snowy barks in surprise, both of them realizing the danger lurking nearby. Tintin and Snowy quickly take cover behind a sturdy tree, peering cautiously out to locate their unseen assailant. The dart embedded in the bark serves as a stark reminder of the peril they face in the jungle depths. Tintin examines the dart closely, realizing it's coated with curare, a deadly poison, and discusses the danger with Snowy. His expression is one of urgency, understanding the threat they face in these hostile surroundings. Suddenly, a flurry of darts whizzes past, prompting Tintin to react with shock and confusion. His mind races as he tries to gauge the source of the attack, aware of the peril that lurks nearby. With no time to waste, Tintin and Snowy dash through the jungle, their hearts pounding as they flee from the unseen assailant. Their steps are quick and determined, driven by the urgent need to escape the hostile environment. Tintin pauses behind a tree, catching his breath as he listens intently, the silence reassuring him that they've evaded their pursuers. He whispers to himself, relieved yet cautious, acknowledging their temporary safety. A sudden rustle draws Tintin's gaze upward. Another dart quivers in the tree above where he hides, its tip glinting faintly in the light. Summoning his courage, Tintin boldly calls out to the hidden adversaries, challenging them to reveal themselves. Behind him, unseen, a snake coils around the tree, Snowy barking frantically at the silent, slithering threat. As the snake lunges towards him, Tintin recoils with a shout of surprise while Snowy bravely barks, trying to fend off the threat. Tintin's heart races as he narrowly avoids the serpent's strike, feeling the rush of adrenaline. With eyes wide, Tintin dodges another attack, his mind racing for a plan. Snowy barks furiously at the coiled snake, when suddenly a dart whistles through the air and strikes the serpent, cutting its hiss short. Panting slightly, Tintin watches as the snake lies still, the dart's strike ending its threat for good. Great snakes, he mutters, equal parts relief and disbelief. Tintin stumbles upon a mysterious man with a long white beard, who exclaims in surprise at seeing him. The man's presence in the dense jungle adds to the bewildering events of Tintin's journey. Curiosity piqued, Tintin cautiously approaches the man, who questions him about his identity and purpose. Tintin introduces himself, reciprocating the inquiry with genuine intrigue. The man reveals his name as Ridgewell, leaving Tintin astonished. Ridgewell's revelation that he is the long-lost explorer thought to be dead deepens the mystery of his unexpected survival. Ridgewell stands with a sense of belonging, explaining to Tintin that he has chosen to live permanently with the Arumbayas, adopting their ways and weapons. Tintin, curious about Ridgewell's motives, questions the use of darts, hinting at a deeper understanding of their purpose. Ridgewell, holding his staff with authority, clarifies that the unfriendly reception was merely a tactic to discourage Tintin from staying. He confidently gestures towards a large flower, offering to prove his point about the dart's precision. With focused determination, Ridgewell takes aim with a blowpipe, demonstrating his skill to Tintin. The atmosphere is tense as Tintin watches intently, waiting to see the outcome of Ridgewell's demonstration. The dart flies through the air with precision, striking a flower dead on as Tintin exclaims his admiration for the impressive shot. Ridgewell's skill is evident, and Tintin's excitement is clear. Suddenly, Snowy lets out a surprised shout, causing Tintin to look around in confusion. Tintin's curiosity piques as he wonders what has startled Snowy so abruptly. As they rush forward, they find Snowy startled, a flower hilariously stuck to his tail. Ridgewell apologizes profusely, while Tintin holds back a laugh at the comical sight of their bewildered companion. Ridgewell reassures Tintin that the dart was not poison and offers his handkerchief for Snowy's minor injury. Tintin gratefully accepts, tending to Snowy as Ridgewell stands by, leaning on his staff. As they begin walking together, Ridgewell is curious about Tintin's presence in the country and asks him to explain. Tintin, eager to share, listens closely as Ridgewell guides him through the greenery. Tintin reveals the tale of an Arumbaya fetish stolen from a museum and replaced with a fake, which he discovered. He explains that he and 2 others are determined to trace the real artifact and its thief, as Snowy trots alongside them. Tintin, walking alongside Ridgewell, shares his harrowing journey to South America, revealing how the thieves killed the original thief on the ship and took the fetish, only for it to turn out to be a fake. Despite his determination, he admits his frustration at not knowing where the real artifact is, as Snowy follows closely behind. Continuing his tale, Tintin expresses his confusion about the motives of Tortilla, the first thief, and the 2 killers, all of whom were fixated on the fetish. He hopes that by coming here, he might uncover the reasons behind their obsession. Tintin speculates that he might learn something new about the fetish among the Arumbayas, seeking a fresh perspective. The old man, with a hint of optimism, agrees that it's quite possible, as Snowy joyfully prances beside them. Suddenly, a group of Rumbaba emerges from the dense forest, surrounding Tintin and the old man with raised clubs. The old man urgently warns Tintin of their hostility towards the Arumbayas, as Snowy barks in alarm. Reacting swiftly, Tintin lands a forceful punch on one of the Rumbaba, who staggers backward clutching his chest. The tension escalates as Tintin stands ready to defend himself against the encroaching threat. In the midst of the chaos, Tintin retreats quickly, darting through the forest as the Rumbaba give chase with fierce determination. Ridgewell, struggling to fend off attackers, calls out to Tintin as they try to escape the clutches of their pursuers. As Tintin tries to fend off one of the Rumbaba, he narrowly dodges their swinging club, his face flushed with effort and fear. The attackers close in, their expressions fierce and determined to capture him. Tintin falls to the ground under the relentless pursuit, attempting to shield himself from the impending blow. The Rumbaba loom over him, clubs raised, ready to deliver their menacing attack. Captured and bound, Tintin walks alongside Ridgewell, surrounded by the Rumbaba. The old man's grim words about their fate send a chill down Tintin's spine, hinting at a terrifying future. The sinister laughter of the Rumbaba echoes as they point towards the gruesome display of small heads on stakes, sending a shiver through Tintin and Ridgewell. Tintin's realization of their grim fate is stark, as Ridgewell whispers to Tintin about the chilling collection they might soon join. Hidden in the foliage, Snowy watches the Rumbaba leave, feeling the urgency in the air. With determination in his eyes, he knows he must act swiftly to save Tintin from this dire situation. Snowy, clutching a clue in his mouth, dashes through the underbrush with a single mission in mind. If he can reach the Arumbaya village and show them the object, they might understand the peril Tintin faces. Snowy races through the dense foliage, determination in his eyes, clutching the clue tightly between his teeth. His paws barely touch the ground as he makes his way toward the Arumbaya village, hoping to find help for Tintin. In the heart of the Arumbaya village, a solemn exchange takes place as a tribal elder, stirring a pot, reveals a dire prophecy to a worried father. The father, desperate to save his son, is instructed to find and slay the first animal encountered in the forest. Armed with a bow and arrow, the father ventures into the dense forest, his heart heavy with his son's fate. Each step is filled with resolve as he searches for the creature that might hold the key to his son's survival. Thanks for watching Comic Yahad. Like, subscribe, and catch you in the next chapter.